is one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ravage 90 and Ranconius, your casters here, getting back to you now as we enter the picks and ban stages. So, who do you think we're going to see as first ban, Rank? Do you think we're going to see that Hades go down?
To be perfectly honest, I think Bologna needs to be banned out by Mortality. Sorry, not by Mortality, by Paradigm, because it was just all over their face. But what else can they replace it with? Because it's like Ao Kwang, there were so many gods to ban on this patch that it's just like, ugh, Bologna's gonna get through.
And that's for sure. So, let's get started. We're going to see Paradigm for the first ban. There goes the Hades. First ban. And I think that was, we're going to see that gave KG a lot of trouble. It was manageable for them, but he was just able to have so much team fight control that it really disrupted their comp there. Alright, out of Mortality, we are going to see the Thor ban. We saw this last time. I'm sure these two teams are familiar with each other, and there's a reason for that. I just haven't seen it yet.
Well, I mean, the issue with Thor is the ability to put a lot of pressure on the map all the time and from out of vision. That's the crucial factor, right? Is that you struggle to ward a Thor out. You don't know exactly when he's going to get into a lane, and he can influence so many lanes both in the form of damage and in CC, and his gap close is phenomenal, as well as his disengage and the early damage from the passive. It's just all there in his kit.
Alright, so next we're going to see Ah Kwang come out from Paradigm, which is, I'd say there's some familiarity there with Watson playing that. Watson real good with Assassins, but at this point I wonder what Watson isn't good at. He just seems to be dominant with every champion that he gets his hands on. And next we're going to see... we're going to see Bologna come out of Mortality, actually, which is an interesting one. It's probably because of first pick in Paradigm's hands.
Yeah, I agree with it. It's just like, what are your options in terms of banning? And of course it leaves Fenrir open, and the counterplay is all there on the table, right? So it's just like, Bologna or not Bologna, Bologna or not Bologna. And Paradigm really paid for it in the last game for not banning out in Bologna. They left, obviously, Ao Kwang, sorry, not Ao Kwang, they left Tosca open. That's not good, you know. It's like, Fenrir is out, but they left Bologna open as well. And it's just like, you could see that they wanted to draft Tosca, but they couldn't because of the opposition composition.
We're going to see Athena pick coming out from Paradigm, a very strong pick no matter whose hands it ends up in. And that could spell some trouble for Mortality, but Mortality is going to pick up Medusa and Sun Wukong. They're going to make sure that they don't go against that potent duo that is Medusa, Athena in the duo lane.
Smart call to pick that one up, and just, the major look combo, right? It's painful. Who wants to play against the major look combo? I certainly don't. But Medusa as well is just a strong hunter on her own. And just removing the combo whilst getting yourself an okay pick. Freya, obviously still on the table, was picked up in this slot last time for Paradigm, I believe. Might have been a little bit deeper in, but the important part is just like, do you give them something? No, you don't. It's just a little bit too strong.
Alright, next we're going to see Kronos and Serket picks coming from Paradigm, denying those picks from Mortality. The Kronos pick, I think, was a little hard for Paradigm to deal with last game. Even though they were able to shut him down in terms of kills, he did do a ton of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it'll go to future or not, it's because Hades is off the table here. So there's a little bit more flexibility for it to drift over towards the solo lane side of things, or even potentially mid lane. Depends what else they draft here. I feel like the Kronos can only go towards the left-hand side of the map if there's a hunter in mid, because, you know, you just need some sort of physical damage. But with Hades off the board as well, they can pick damage up in the solo lane as well. But Poseidon picked up. That's going to be crucial, especially comboing with a Medusa.
Actually, Poseidon was banned. I don't know who the third pick was, to be completely honest with you. We lost we can just join into
we lost a pick.
Yeah, we lost a pick. They didn't give them all to us, and that is the trouble with Xbox. Oh, we're going to see the screen go off a little bit there. You can load in as well now, Rank.
Yep. Yeah, we already have, yeah.
I'm at a minute 20.
Oh, here we go. The fun and games of spectator clients are obviously failing you. So bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. This spectator client obviously being you. Just bringing you the games, just being able to bring you the games with the higher quality. Yeah, it's like bringing you the games is a little bit better than the higher quality, and we have faith that Hi-Rez are going to bring us a strong spectator system. Particularly next patch, I think was their aim to bring us the P's and B's in the game. It's like the birds and the bees.
The birds and the bees. So are we at 120? We're gonna see Rat picked up by Mortality Watson, and that is generally devastating for the enemy team. He's out picking up Sun Wukong. Another.
Was that the third pick? No.
That was the last pick.
Okay.
That was the last pick. So we're at 120. We're ready to go.
Yep. Oh, I'm ready to go.
Okay. All right, starting.
Yep. Here we go.
All right. Well, let's take another look at the item starts here. Likely to see power pot starts coming out of Ratatosker and out of the Circuit. Actually, no power pot start from Circuit. Just going to see boots there. Rat is going to be the only one with power pot.
I had a small glitch with my client where I thought it was at 1 minute 20, but it wasn't. Can you just pause and tell me what timestamp you're at, please?
I'm at 54.
54? Alright, I'll just catch up to you quickly. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I hate apologizing for this sort of stuff. Again, like I said, it's better to bring you a tournament with a lesser client that we have faith in that will improve than to not bring you the tournament or show matches, as this case is. Alright, 54 seconds!
All right.
Count me down.
And 3,
Count me down.
2, 1, go.
Okay.
All right. So I think we're going to see the same starts come out of Mortality here. The standard start. No, actually, we're going to see Agni on this side of the map as Circuit getting a little aggressive there as she wards mid camps. Mortality opting toward the left or the right mids on their side at the very least. Let's take a look at that aggressive warding starting off there too from Mortality on Gold Fury and on the mid Harpies. One from Paradigm on mid Harpies on both sides.
And interesting to see that Mortality are obviously focusing. They're trying to get the split on the XP on the back camps and whatnot. We're seeing the Chronos going towards the dual lane again. Interesting to note that. I feel like this is something that is potentially more Xbox specific because of the mechanics. Obviously, Chronos, I would say, would probably be one of the easier gods to play on the Xbox. A lot more straightforward. So
we're going to see the Paradigm start come out of Mortality here as well. A little bit different from how they started with Standard before, and we're going to see Standard start come out of Paradigm. So we're seeing things switch up a little bit.
Yeah, obviously, just a little bit interesting to see how that one goes down. Nuwa picks up the red buff, heads towards mid lane. And Agni's going to obviously start with a little bit more XP. They're looking to get those bombs online just a smidge earlier in towards those mid lanes, so their mid camp congestion the second time around is a lot stronger. That's what that start gives to them.
Agni's clear early on, much better than Nuwa, arguably. Syncrotion taking a lot of damage there from Nuwa and from the minion waves as Watson and Syncrotion look to secure mid camps. Hydra coming in looking to steal with the dash, but she's not going to be able to. Syncrotion picking that up. You're going to see level 3 and 2 go in favor of Mortality right off the bat.
Yeah, and that means that they've got stun combo down and they've got a Ratatosker. They're buying some nice space around this mid lane, so keep your eyes peeled because that's where most of the early action is going to go down. As you can actually see Tosca looking to dive in. Watson wants to get a lot of aggression. He's going to pay for it with a lot of aggression back in his own corner. And it's going to be Dobson.
That is huge for Paradigm to pick up the kill on the jungle early there as you see the Mortality players rotate for the mid camps as Watson has gone down. They want to make sure they secure that XP on their team and not on the other. As Syncrotion duels it out with Hydra, we're going to see Zenborn in here with the rotation, and Hydra is just going to walk out of there.
Okay, so crucial as well. Look at what was going on there from the side of Watson. He had the red pot. He's now behind. He's now significantly behind because Hydra has boots. Hydra, if he died there, no waste of gold. No waste of gold. Nothing like that whatsoever. It's now in a bit of a spot. I believe, Ravage, I'm going to tell you to just switch the team names around on the top of the overlay there.
Oh, I'm going to pause it up while I do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We were under control. Thanks, chat. God, I love chat. Chat's so good.
I even took the time to fix this before we started, and it didn't work.
Well, you fixed it on the pre-game overlay, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I did there, but there we go. I'm at 207.
And I'm at 216, so we're obviously a little bit desynced. Let me know when
Okay,
you're up to 216. We'll get going again.
Roger.
God damn it, chat. Why do you guys have to be the one that tell us? Why can't we fix it up? It's Adonis's fault, I tell you.
I'm not saying anything about any other casters because we've seen how that worked for someone else yesterday. So I'm at 216 there now. We're going to count it down. 3, 2, 1, go. There we are. Watson not that far behind if you have a good look at it. He was able to...
Okay, so we had a small issue again. Pause me up, count me up. What timestamp are you at?
226.
226. I'm coming. My unpause function didn't happen all that quickly. 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm always breaking the game.
Oh, I went to 227. Just skipped to
227. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Those oceanic casters, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's me. It's the different client. Clearly, we're on a different client.
Your toilets spin a different way. The interesting.
They do.
They do. We're going to see an interesting development here. KG ahead of Kizao in farm. He hits level 5 first. Kizao very low as he only hits level 5 now. KG looking for the opportunity to strike there.
Yeah, obviously Song Wukong, a little bit pressured out. He does have the magic cudgel. Put it down. But look at Tyr. This is just what you expect from Tyr. He's got a lot more sustain. Oh god, Zaiden's here. Don't ask Zaiden how I break things. KG dropped the Lawbringer looking for a lot of pressure. So what he's able to do, because he's on Tyr, he's got the power cleave for heals. He's in a really, really nice spot early on.
An interesting note to make is that Watson hit level 5 before Hydra. After First Blood. That just goes to show that Watson's farm game is definitely on point. As he's able to recover from that early deficit.
Yeah, and I mean, a little bit of it is that obviously Ratatoska, a little bit more clear in the early portions of the game. Into a Surcat. Hydra's just going to sit there and tax the mid lane. It's also down to the start that they had. They got a lot more XP online, and they were refreshing the back camps a lot more often. So more XP available to them in that early portion of the game, and that's what they need to snowball on. They've got a Tyr in the solo lane against Song Wukong. Song Wukong's going to get, for me, I kind of like him a little bit better towards the late game. A little bit more sustain, a little bit more dive ability, a little bit more peel. He's just able to be a really beefy mid-ground guy. Tyr's kind of blink, fearless. We're
going to see the... Apparently there was no blood since then. We're going to look at Watson and Zenborn right now, able to maintain mid-camp control on both sides. Still, even after that first blood is huge. And that's something we've seen a lot from Mortality. The roam from Zenborn has been significant in their ability to maintain map control thus far.
Yeah, Zenborn, very, very crucial to Mortality as well. Look at the engage coming through mid lane. Cataclysm onto Snaz. Snaz is in trouble. Could this be the second blood? Ticking down? No. Not going to... Oh, God. Here comes Ratatoska. He's dead.
And there we go. Watson able to get himself back in the game. Syncrocian finding himself fairly low in the mid lane, but not enough for a new ult to secure him. He's just out of the danger zone. As Watson is continuing to bully Hydra and Dobson in the middle lane, he is getting his revenge for that first blood. He's saying, you're getting first blood, but I'm getting second and third.
It's again, back to that matchup. Late game, just Surcata's going to come online, and her damage, her ability to assassinate somebody, and importantly, last breath, the stop heal on that is so crucial to making sure that you secure a kill. Fire shards to make sure that it spreads as well, the last breath poison, and continues to tick, is a very, very strong combo. And they've got a Chronos. And Chronos can carry so much harder than Medusa in the late game, but the Wombo combo. Mortality's Wombo combo, the damage burst that comes through from an Agni, Ratatoska, Medusa instantly is insane.
Mortality has a lot of lockdown in their comp with the Medusa ult, the Agni Bomb stuns, the Cataclysm from Geb. There's just a lot of control there in the team fight from them, but that's not to discount the team fight from Paradigm as well. You do have some CC there as well, with Tyr able to knock the squishy members of Mortality back into the grips of Surcat, Athena, and Kronos.
Yeah, so, you know, it's going to be interesting to see where those power spikes go, but certainly for the meantime, Mortality, I've got a bit stronger of an earlier game. Medusa and how they rotate her around and combo her in with Zenborn is going to be crucial to this, because if they combo it right, the lockdown burst combo is just insane. It's not just a lockdown, it's the burst combo that comes online with it. Acid spray, rain fire, you know, all that sort of noxious fumes combo, and what is it? The shenanigans that they can pull off is certainly a lot higher than Paradigm.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Soul Lane right now, as it's a little bit of a different story from last game. We see that KG is able to maintain a slight XP per minute advantage of 50 XP per minute, which 50 isn't huge. But the gold advantage, if you look over there, is handedly in favor of KG. When you're getting a 50 gold per minute now, that is a big difference. So that's the big storyline over there. We're going to see a mid-camp fight over here as Nuwa goes up in the ult, seeing Corrosion and Watson going the wrong way as they are on the chase now. Ratatasker up in the air, diving down on Dobson. Snaz taking a lot of poke here as Watson dives down on Dobson. Tear on the rotation back.
Looking cagey, still trying to get on towards Syncrotion. Syncrotion's in trouble, does get the stun, but it's only going to be 1 second. Remember that passive from KG, it's huge. He comes up big, and he's going to be able to pick up Syncrotion. Look at the Athena ultimate. This is a dead Watson as well. Sorry, sir, you went hunting for a crime in the wrong direction. Mortality, well, Paradigm are going to be the ones that make Mortality pay this time around.
It is a different game from when we watched the last one. It seems that Paradigm has mirrored Mortality in this game, as they have taken up First Blood in the dual lane, First Blood in the middle lane, and we're going to see First Blood in the dual lane for Paradigm. They have 3 kills up in Mortality already. Only about 1,000 gold difference, but you know, the XP deficit at this point in the game can be huge for denying those carries out of lane.
Yeah, and interesting to note that they did get that successful gank off on towards Future. So Future's a little bit behind on a Medusa. Kronos is going to spike rather hard late game. Mid game, Medusa is just so strong. But Kronos is able to put out a lot more damage in the late game. You know, they both bring CC to the table, which is rare to say of Hunters, but it'll be interesting to see how that goes down.
It will. But Future has shown himself to be able to farm very effectively. As we watched last game, he was top in farm. As we looked at minion kills, Medusa managing to outduel him a little bit in that area of the stats board, but maybe that's due to the, you know, the acid spray and the fact that Future just went down.
And, you know, Medusa's clearly the most toxic of all gods because she brings poison.
Oh, getting cheeky. Okay, yeah. So we look at Kizao and KG here, still doing. Kizao now having Mystical Mail online will help him a little bit against that tier and his ability to damage him. You know, it'll be interesting to see. I think as the game progresses here, Wukong will start to come online, and it'll be, you know, he'll be able to stay in that lane a lot better than he's able to do right now.
Yeah, it's just down to the fact that Tyr just has, you know, a part of his kit has sustain. Wukong, he's focusing on clear. I expect him to be maxing out the magic cudgel, just to make sure that he can stay in that lane.
And we're going to look at Hydra here with the ult on top of Kizao. Kizao really low here. He's going to have to pop the Wukong ult, and he's not going to be able to do that as he is destroyed by Hydra. That is 5 kills in favor of Paradigm. 4 up on Mortality thus far. Watson too late to the fight as Kizao is finding reversal of fortunes with KG in this game.
Yeah, and I mean, Sakat is just so strong against the Wukong. All that sustain gone. He couldn't use it. He knew he couldn't use the ultimate. Fire shards, though, come down towards the mid lane side of things. Syncrotion, I think, was looking to be focused on towards, might have been on the left-hand side, potentially just trying to spot out, hey, are they on the Gold Fury? Is anything like that happening? No, there's no shenanigans, unfortunately. We love shenanigans are like the best part about Smite.
Shenanigans, for sure, are the best part about Smite. That what makes it so entertaining. And
right?
Yeah, we're just looking at it. It's KG with a 2-level advantage on Kizao. Kizao feeling the same pain that KG did the last game. I'd be interested to see if KG's able to capitalize on that as Kizao was, and be able to take the fight to the tier 2 tower in the next few minutes.
Yeah, gold and minion kills specifically. The duo lane side of things are the highest on the map. Interesting to note. Pretty much even in the middle of the map, right hand side of the map, obviously Sung Wukong's about 16 behind, so he's a little bit a little bit of disarray, but Medusa's going to be spiking a lot earlier on the items side of things as well now, because she's obviously had Transcendence done, going to be going towards a Soul Eater, not an RC. So the burst of lifesteal that can come through with the Viper Shot, not quite as prominent, but she will have a really nice sustained damage curve and sustained sustain curve as well. And that sounds funny saying, but you guys know what I mean. Soul Eater, its lifesteal is always the same, right? But an RC, you get below 35%. The RC proc comes online, you get that burst of sustain that comes through, and I like it better because it's just like you can read the game a lot better, and it's a lot more better game mechanic rather than just, oh look, I'm 35% health, I just top back up to 70%. That's not fun.
Yeah, it's really it'll be really interesting to see where Medusa goes with that build, to see if we see the Aussie pop. I think knowing future.
You don't build a Soul Eater and an RC in the same. There's not enough room for it. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's the issue. Yeah, he's going Soul Eater for sure, and that seems to be the popular build right now in Xbox. We've seen that in every single game in the MLG tournament yesterday. I don't think I may have seen Devourer's Gauntlets once in one of the lower tier games, but other than that, it was all Soul Eaters. As we see Hydra on top of Watson. Watson down to half health. Zenborn and Syncrocian zoned out here as the Dobson and Hydra do Goal Fury.
Zenborn, though, did drop the Cataclysm. It was on towards Snaz. Look at the ultimate from Geron, though. He's almost to full health. Snaz, solo. Watson brings that kill up, and that's going to be huge for him. He heads over to the mid lane to pick up some well-deserved farm, and Future's in the base, crucially. They cancel out the Gold Fury, but look at Hydra's positioning here, Ravage.
Hydra just on the outside looking in as Kronos tries to put the stun over the wall. There is Hydra on top of Zenborn. There is the shield, and the Agni Bombs are going to miss as Hydra's able to stealth and jump. Oh, Watson able to come in from the back there and clean up Hydra, and they are on the chase as Dobson drops down the mist. Duran and Dobson on the run as the Agni Bomb hits Duran. Here is the Agni Dash. Path of Flame. Syncrocian going to pick up that kill. KG in with the triple.
Oh, it's just
CC
a double just
there.
Initiate thing off, but look at that from KG. The Lawbringer over the top. What Future wants a bit of Dobson, not quite able to secure that one off, and both teams able to disengage with health bars in the ticking red, unless your name is Future or your name is Geron.
He's out, getting cheeky with the mid camps. Is he going to get away? He's going to bird out of that one as Snaz and KG go on the chase. Kizao is going to get out of there, but he will have to deal with KG now. He may have to go back. Zenborn, low. Dobson and Snaz on the chase as he begins to roll out. He is going to get away without breaking a sweat.
Without breaking a sweat? I didn't know rocks could sweat, man.
Well, it really depends on if you put them in a fridge and then put them out at room temperature. I guess they can sweat.
He is Sandcastle Geb, so maybe he sweats salt water.
Maybe so, yeah.
You reckon Sandcastle Geb is the saltiest of the Gebsins?
I don't know. I think we'd have to ask Salty War Machine that. He's in chat.
Salty War Machine, what do you think? Okay, we'll get a response from him a little bit later on.
Yeah, we'll get it in a few minutes. He always responds. Always.
Take a look at the graphs actually at this period in time, because it's kind of interesting to note. Paradigm are up a little bit, getting towards 2.5k XP and around that 2k gold mark. But what does that translate to in terms of items? Well, items are pretty much level. Importantly, Geron though.
Gonna see Watson go down there, getting collapsed by 4 of Paradigm as he tries to invade the enemy jungle there. He went a little bit too deep. Not Watson's game so far. He's been able to rebound thus far, but he's got 4 deaths on the board right now.
Have a look on the right-hand side of the map, though, where KG is. KG's, like, super deep over here.
And Kizao super low. We're seeing a repeat of last game. It's a mirror image. Except we don't see Hades and Hercules. We see Tyr and Wukong, and Tyr has taken Kizao's role as the dominator in that lane.
Yeah, and look at Zenborn forced over here all the time as well. Teleport picked up and coming through for the side of SWK, and obviously played by Kizao. So he's now down an active slot. Tier TP, so it's going to be level up on the active slots, which is always nice. If you're going to go for a TP, you want your opponent to be picking up TP. Otherwise, they're an active ahead in the later stages of the game. So that's really good to see that the solo laners are going to be active level. But the blink is going to be crucial. The blink timing coming through from the side, obviously, of KG, because blink Fearless's, Lawbringer Fearless doesn't have the same kind of initiate
We're going
combos.
to see a free Gold Fury going to Paradigm.
What?
The gold deficit now at 3,800 for Mortality. This is where we saw the point of no return really last game for Mortality. Paradigm. It's almost a mirror image of last game, is it?
It's just the fact that they were able to get that, and you can see Mortality, they're realizing it now and they're paying for it, but have a look at the side of Future. He got ganked. He's going to live. Hydra paying a lot of attention to this side of the map. They really want to get Geron online this time.
Future looking to maybe have some type of issue there. And I know he's good now. You're just kind of looking at the wall there for a few minutes. Yeah, Mortality able to maintain mid-camp control though, but it's not doing too much for them as they continue to go down in XP, and that's likely due to the Gold Furies that have gone against them thus far.
Yeah, Dobson's in a nice itemization. Hydra was looking for a strong initiate. They get taunts off. They lock down Zenburn. He is ticking away, but he's got the ultimate and the counter engage. Future with the rotate around. Too much pressure coming through from the side of Mortality, and Paradigm forced to disengage. They put a lot of hurt, though, off onto the support of Mortality.
The thing to take note of here is Zenborn has had some significant plays in regards to the counter engages with Geb, and this is 2 games in a row he's been managing to do that, so it'll be interesting to see if that comes out as a ban or a first pick in the next game for Paradigm.
I mean, I want to see it come through as a ban, and I want to be in a world where we can enable a Geb ban, but there's too much on the board. You leave
in this
Bologna,
patch, yeah, there's too much on the board. I mean, you have Bologna's, Laquangs, and here we go. We're gonna have a battle over mid camps here, and I can't tell if that was stolen or not. The XP graph looks to go in favor of Paradigm, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Paradigm picked up both of those.
We're gonna see a big rotation on Keys out here with Sorket and Hydra just doing tons of damage to Keys out, but he's gonna have the ult there as the decoy. Just slaps on KG a little bit as Kizo just hangs out in the clouds on his Nimbus.
Yeah, well, when you got a Nimbus cloud, you can hang out in the clouds, but that ultimate forced out from Kizo means that they can get on towards this mana buff. Nice steal away. KG's going to pick that one up. Watson's on the backside. They're thinking about the engage. They get the taunt off. Kizow's getting focused out. Last Breath doing a lot of tick damage. He's got no sustain, remember, but Watson buys his solo laner some time. Kizow fire shards, doesn't quite pick him up, and he's going to walk away, but look at where Watson is. He's going to look to ult and get out of here as well. KG stunned up there as well, and now look at the rotation from Syncrotion.
We're going to see Watson going back down there, and we're going to have to see the tier ult get wasted there as well, as he is barely going to escape with his life. Dobson down to half health as well.
He's out, teleported back in on towards that one, went back over on towards KG, not quite able to secure anything up, and that was a lot of pressure. And it's got to be the biggest caster curse moment I've ever seen. Not a single kill went down.
Let's take a look at Geron here now as he begins to put some work onto Zenborn. He misses the stun, and Zenborn is barely going to get out of there with the rollout.
Wow, look at that extended phase of play, and not a single kill.
We're going to look at Medusa, though, in the dual lane. We could see a tower go down here, as she is going to be uncontested. Geron only making the move to the dual lane as we speak. Tyr, Nuwa, and Athena taking down the solo lane tower. Future in danger here with Circle and Chronos rotating.
The cat walked over a ward. He's got to know this is coming, but he's opted to go for the tower. Petrify comes down. No stun on towards Geron, but now the stop time. Future's obviously got beads online. He's looking to dash away. The Lacerate gets him some nice distance. The Torn back in. He's in trouble, though. He's eventually going to pop down to Hydra. Syncrotion's here trying to buy some time, but Hydra, a kill online. He's starting to become a late-game beast on that Circuit, and they've got to be careful from the side of Paradigm on the blue side.
Interesting game so far. Paradigm up 6 kills on Mortality. This is exactly how the last game turned out. I don't know if you remember. I remember saying Mortality was up 10-4 on Paradigm. And this is what I was talking about. Mortality and Paradigm. Mortality's had the upper hand in all these tournaments, but they've been best of 1 games. This is a best of 3, so anything can happen here. You're seeing the ability for these teams to make adjustments in these best of 3 series, and this is where you see the best of the competition.
Oh, have a look on the left-hand side. Watson was going over on towards Geron. Geron's incredibly low here, incredibly low. Stop time won't even manage to keep him alive. Watson picks up the kill. Fire shards raining down. Watson will manage to live. Look at the mid lane though now. It's going to be the focus from KG trying to pick a kill up onto Syncrotion. He's got the Path of Flame. Keyzao though. He's in the backline. He's probably not going to get away here. They've got a lot of CC to lock him down, and Hydra's on the side to stop any healing. They might go in for this one, Ravage.
And here's Cirquette, just like he called it, but she's not going to be able to do anything as Syncrotion lands the triple stun and the Agni Bombs are dropped. Here comes the Clay minions, as Dobson was looking for any type of pick that he could have there to do any damage to Keyzao or Syncrotion to keep that engage going.
Yeah, well, unfortunately not able to find another kill there from the side of Paradigm. They wanted to go aggressive. Hydra, let's talk about him and the game he's having this time around. 3-1-3. It was Watson that went big last game. Watson outstepped the shoes of, obviously, Sherlock Holmes. Outfilled those shoes, but now he's 4-4-1. He's got a really funny build route as well.
Hydra? Moriarty, maybe? Maybe.
But look at his itemization, though. He's Jotun's Wrath Deathbringer compared to his opponent, who's fully Acorn and Frostbound Hammer.
Yeah, he just has...
Frostbound Hammer.
Yeah, Frostbound Hammer seems to be very popular in Rat right now, and that Acorn is kind of... That's where it's at right now. That's how you build Rat. If you build anything else, it really takes a lot out of his kit. So, no pen online from Watson just yet. He's not going to be able to do a whole lot to Tyr, or Athena for that matter. The damage there is not going to be able... It's not going to be huge, right? So, we may see more from Watson as the game goes on as well. His late game with Ratatosker is very strong.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see where the Assassins go, because, we were just talking extensively about Hydra, but it's crucial. It's crucial to the composition, right? But Nuar as well. Nuar's going to come online. Her zoning potential, her anti-siege is really, really strong, but it's into an Agni. He's strong enough that he can clear waves with the Rain Fire, that he's okay. The problem is, as soon as he burns one of those and not fight, with the bomb online,
watch this here as Athena moves in with the taunt on Syncrotion. Syncrotion is going to be melted. Snaz is going to pick up that kill. Zenborn is dropping the shield on himself as there's 4 men all over him as he starts the rollout. Future moving in to try and zone Snaz. Oh. There is the kill secure with Dobson dropping his ult and taking down Zenborn. Zenborn not able to slip away this time as Keyzao finds himself in trouble as Gold Fury is being taken. KG managing to zone him out. Here comes Medusa.
She's and here comes Ratatosker as well. Watson's actually going to go on towards KG because KG was caught in a... Keyzao was caught in a terrible place up against KG. Snaz is there as well. Still trying to find their way on towards the Gold Fury. I mean, they've got a couple of members on it at the moment, but it's just starting to burn it down. It's at half health at this point. Future can come in here. Future can come in here if you can come in big with the ultimate, but not able to find a nice path in, following up on the rest of the team. And Gold Fury secured for the side of Paradigm, so they're going to take an early lead here, Ravage.
Yeah, and that's going to be the biggest lead that we've seen come out of this series thus far. We did not see Mortality secure an 8,000 gold lead at any point in the last game, so this is huge for Paradigm. But you're going to see Mortality play it nice and safe there on that Gold Fury. They have only 2 tier 1s down, and their job, they're going to try and turtle. And they have a good counter engage comp where they're able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. It's kind of the flip-flop of the last game where, Paradigm were the ones that had the later on. They were looking to farm up, they were looking to get their Scylla, they were looking to get their Freya online and rotate around and play off the back of that. Some bad engagements left them on the other foot, though. So whether they can turn this one around this time, Paradigm, they're on the more aggressive comp, I'd have to say that. But Athena, I really like her peel later on. And Kronos is not going to be touched, is the crucial factor you've got to keep in mind. But if he can do damage, that's the big part. If he can be untouched and do damage rather than just being kind of poked out, he's still got an ultimate, so he's safe. But can he maintain the damage?
I don't know if I've seen Kronos have to use his ult yet. I don't know if that's actually popped this game. I haven't seen it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't seen it yet. Kronos, low on the damage meters, though. He is playing it safe. So is Medusa. They've just been trading off in the dual lane. The dual lane is looks more like the solo lane this game.
Yeah, Medusa obviously fights. I mean, we really touched on this. Medusa fights a bit better in the early game, especially Soul Eater Transcendence. It's a, kind of a really, really nice spike. But look at the composition of items coming through from the side of Paradigm. They've got a double Warlock stash online, so their late game tankiness is fantastic. Kronos is a lot tankier than you kind of realize with that one. And, you know, Demonic Grip, I believe that is, coming through. Warlock Sash, the penetration that they're going to be able to put out. Obsidian Shards there as well. Spear of the Mages now online for a newer. They've got really nice sets of penetration. They're kitted up and going in the right directions. The rotation spotted out and towards the left-hand side. Future knows this is coming. Dash forward, looking for the taunt from Snaz, and Zenborn's here as well.
Zenborn at the right place at the right time again. He's managed to roam this map, but it has affected him in farm thus far.
KG, he's looking for it. Hydra, though, is going to come in. He was looking towards Future. Down comes those fire shards all over Future. He's got the ticking going on towards him. Watson's going to take to the sky. Future's still living through this one, but look at where KG is. He's in a really rough spot, still trying to dive this one out. Future's in trouble, still manages to live. Zenborn with the body blocks, crucial to this fight, and still not a single member has gone down, no matter how hard they try.
And Kizao is hot on the chase here as he chases down Dobson. Dobson so low, just a hair away from death as the chase is on. Future and Watson chasing KG down. Is KG finally going to die? That's the question. And he's not. Mortality not able to get anything from that, but an excellent counter engage by them on the tier 2, making sure that they don't give up any more free gold to Paradigm. That was a big fight for them. Even though no kills came out of it, that was a big fight. They were able to defend and just bide their time until they're able to get to level 20 and get to their full builds.
Yeah, just getting themselves online, obviously saying, hey, we just need to shove this away. But the location on that fight was really nice for the side of Mortality. Because it was in between the two towers, the rest of the team wasn't able to come in as hard, and they'd be tanking towers. So it was kind of like a 6-on-5 when you add the towers in towards it. But KG takes no damage from towers. Did you notice that? How many tower shots he took to the face?
He took a ton. He took a ton, and he still managed to get out of there with a quarter bar of health. That is absolutely insane. Tyr scaling so well right now, level 20. He is above and beyond at least 3 of the Mortality players. Zenborn still at level 15, interesting to note, but he's had to do a lot of roaming to peel for his team.
MVP from that last fight for me has got to be Zenborn. Why? Body blocking. Body blocking, such a huge part. It pinned KG in against the tower, so he was taking more tower shots, and he couldn't go, oh, I want to kill Future. He was forced to go, I can't kill Future, I've just got to get the heck out of here. He wasn't left in a position, thanks purely to Zenborn's shielding, Zenborn's counter initiate, and then the body blocking that came through as well. Pins from against that wall was absolutely crucial.
Zenborn has been on spot with his disengage and his ability to peel for his team. He has been by far the MVP of this game for Mortality.
KG, look at him right now. Taking an engage on towards the left-hand side. Zenborn trying to get the knock-up. Geron's just going to sprint his way out of there. He's got a Heavenly Agility online already, so he's totally fine. Sorry to cut you off there, Ravage. I didn't mean that. Geron had other ideas.
It's okay. We'll blame Geron. We're not going to blame Adonis. We've decided we need to blame Geron. That needs to be...
We blame Zidane now.
Okay.
My old challenger.
All right, we'll blame Zidane.
I agree.
We're going to see Giron on the chase here now on Future. Hydra on top of Future. Zenborn here again. Spot on with the disengage. Syncrotion behind the enemy. Dropping the Agni Bombs. And they are going to disengage and play it safe. They are possibly going to go for Fire Giant here as Watson and Syncrotion make their way up.
It's just going to be a Gold Fury, and that's a smart call not going for Fire Giant.
Or Gold Fury, sorry, not Fire Giant.
Yeah, Mortality had to disengage, and they did so greatly. Great fearless combo, though, comes from KG. He's looking to get on towards Syncrotion. Syncrotion, Gab Shield, still ticking quite high on the health bar, but thanks towards that one, Snaz is going to come through and ult on towards KG. I'm going to feel, yeah, he did. Watson forced to run the heck away from that fight. Look at Jaron and the damage he's able to put out. Future's in trouble. Future's gone. Paradigm find a huge fight that leaves 3 members. 3 members down.
Kizao in the clouds, able to make sure he gets away from that, but Paradigm escaping like gangbusters there, coming out with their arms full of presents. Santa was good to them, not so good to Mortality after that engage.
Yeah, look at KG. He still wants a bit more. Watson, not quite done with you, son. Head back on over to your detective business because you're no good right here. Looking for the engage again. Watson, taunted up. Still looking a little bit like they want to engage, but they're focusing on towards the Phoenix. Paradigm gonna successfully get that one. Now they're looking to get out, and that's the crucial factor. If they can get out without dying after taking a Phoenix in such a successful fight, this game is in a rough spot for Mortality.
They are not done. You're going to watch them go for the tier 2 here, but Watson and Zenborn are going to rotate to trying to defend. They aren't going to be able to do it, however, as the minions are going to be too strong.
Yeah, so that tower now falling on the left-hand side of things. And look at Paradigm as well. Back up, and they're just like, what's the next safest objective? Is it Gold Fury? Do we have to surrender Gold Fury? In this case, yes. Watson, good rotations, good awareness, but Snaz has got other ideas. They don't want to give this one up, unfortunately.
Gold Fury would do wonders for Mortality right now. It would help them finish off their builds to try and catch up. The global XP might help Watson and Zenborn reach that goal of level 20 a little faster.
Look at where they're going, though, from the side of the guys on Mortality. They were poking their heads around Fire Giant. More worried about Paradigm doing it than anything. That's the crucial factor. They just didn't want to give Paradigm a free Fire Giant, because that's GG right there. If they get a free Fire Giant, don't contest. But Paradigm, really nice regrouping. Took what they needed to, and look at where the grouping is coming through from Mortality as well. It's in the mid lane, and the taunt. Perfect, on point again.
And here we go, Zenborn at half health already. Syncrocian getting burned by Hydra, and that's going to be a kill there for sure as Dobson secures it with the Nuwa ult. And that is spelling even more grim for Mortality as Paradigm rotates for Fire Giant. Watson and Kizao making their way, but they're going to get turned on as Paradigm disengages off of Fire Giant. Watson up in the air as Fire Giant is already at half health.
They're going to think about engaging this one 50% and dropping, resetting just a little bit from Fire Giant. Watson dropped in. They didn't quite grab the taunt, but Hydra jumps in towards his face. Goodbye, son. Goodbye. There's a Scorpion God in your face. And you know what that has to do with everything? It's just death. That's what it has to do with everything.
There's the Geb Catalysm on Jiran. Beads popped as Kizao begins to zone him out of this fight. Here is the Athena taunt. Circuit all over Kizao, and he is just going to be able to birds out of there, but it's taken down by Nuwa. Zenborn trying to get away now with rollout as he is taunted by Athena, and there is the tirade of damage from Jiran as he dropped everything on top of Zenborn with the Athena ult, holding him pretty well in place. Future dueling with Snaz in the back line as Paradigm secures the Fire Giant.
Not quite yet. It's down to 15%. Finally dropping down. Is going to tick out, and Paradigm grabbed that one up, at least positively. Excuse me, from the side of Mortality. Future did spot out exactly the timing when they knew that one, so 5 minutes from then on, they know exactly when the Fire Giant's going to be respawning. Right, what did Paradigm do here? Have a look at the golden XP. XP? 20k. Is everyone capping out? I believe everyone's capping out now at 20. It's just going to be, obviously, Snaz, who's only on level 19, so he's almost there. Almost there. 4 levels ahead significantly of his counterpart on the Geb.
Zenborn has been level 15 for at least the last 4 minutes. I've been saying it over and over and over again, and he has not been able to buy a level. And that is due to the amount of times he's had to rotate into team fights, and that level disadvantage is really playing against Mortality, as we've seen how fast Geb melts. And Geb, when he is of the same level as everyone else, does not melt that quick. Geb is probably one of the most innately tanky supports that there is out there.
Yeah, kind of only beaten by Ymir. Look at the engage, though. Jero on a long way forward in this one. He's doing a lot of damage and providing a lot of utility, a lot of zoning, a lot of pressure. Phoenix respawns, and look at where Paradigm start to group around this one. It's going to be a 5-on-4, though, if they choose to fight. Jero, no, eats the ultimate coming through from Medusa. He's in trouble, forced to immediately run the heck out of there. And Fire Shards burned early. Look at where Sun Wukong is. He's in behind this one, making sure that the minion waves never get there, and now they turn on Kizao.
Dobson able to pick up that kill on Kizao, and that is huge. Kizao behind the line there, not standing with his teammates, hoping to catch someone out. Here comes Snaz in, and the Fearless going to land on top of Syncrocian. And Synchrotion almost melted here as the Titan is aggro on top of KG, but KG doesn't care. He is Tear, and there's Circuit on top of Future. Future taking tons of damage with the Circuit ult down. And Future barely going to escape with his life there as Zenborn rolls out into the enemy team, but he's not going to be able to do anything. There is a taunt from Snaz on Zenborn. Zenborn taking tons of damage there as they rotate for Right Phoenix. Are they going to get 2? Yes, they are. That or 3. They've got 3.
That's all 3.
This could be game here.
Well, Red Team Titan under assault. Mortality looking to bow out of this game and send it to a game number 3 against PDG. Look at Watson taken to the air, but it's defensively, and that's not what you want to see in future. Just all over from Hydra. So 2 games thus far, with this one filling up and finally ticking over at the 36-minute mark, has been on the junglers. Look at Hydra and how well he played that game, but look at Watson and how well he played last game. I think it's going to be on the junglers next time around, Ravage, to see who can win game number 3.
And I think so as well. I think it's going to be all over the junglers. That's been the story thus far. Who's able to scale better? I'm blown away that Hydra was able to outplay Watson on Ratatasker, and I'd say this has been something that Paradigm has discussed in depth. His Ratatasker has been the talk of the EU community lately, and you know they found a way to shut it down. Maybe Circuit is that way.
Well, I mean, I think you mentioned it earlier on in the cast, was that the cat matches the late game power of a Ratatosker. You mentioned how strong Ratatosker can be later on, but it's a Sakat. She matches you. She's going to match you all day long. If you get later on, it's only going to be like Mercury that gets a little bit stronger than Sakat. Her ability to just make sure somebody dies is the crucial part. Chat's starting to call it out just a little bit as well. Nuwa, very, very controlling as a mage coming through from the mid lane in those mid to latter stages of the game. Being able to crucially give vision on the fire shards. You can see, shoot, is my opponent doing the fire giant? Yes, no, we've put damage on them regardless as well. It's just that poke off, it's a bit risky, so, you know, Nuwa's altered us off. But no deaths from Dobson. No deaths from Dobson in that game.
And that you've seen him escape a lot of times, just get out of the back of the team fight with just a sliver of health. This happened on a number of occasions. The Nuwa ult actually, you know, it doubles as an escape. I had this argument with someone in ranked, like, not even 2 days ago, where they told me Nuwa didn't have an escape. And I was like,
he does.
Huh. Are you kidding me?
Considering it's CC immunity, it's
CC
take
immunity.
off into the air to dodge damage,
right,
and then land down a little bit further along as well. It's the
a great
3 parts
escape.
of it.
It's a great escape.
It's what you've got to consider is it's like specifically timed Rum ultimate. Like you're not up there for 3 shots. You're up there for the exact same amount of time the entire time. And choosing when to ult, CC immune, take off, land a little bit further away. You know, it's just so strong.
Let's have a look at the builds here. Okay, we had Athena with the Shell, Weakening Curse, which is an interesting choice for sure. Just looking at Weakening, why they would need it. I mean, there's no healers on the team. We look at
SWK, potentially.
Yeah, Sun Wukong, I guess so. Yeah. Then we look at Zenborn. Zenborn with no Heartward Amulet. That's an interesting choice. We didn't see a Heartward Amulet come out from Mortality in that game with Kronos, Nuwa, and Athena. That's a big overlook.
Yeah. That is an interesting one to note, especially Mystical Mail as well, because it is magic damage. So it's interesting to note that there was no Heartward. Donut Gaia allows him to initiate, get poked off a little bit, cycle out, cycle back in. And it's also the mana, HP sustain, and the general stats on it are a little bit stronger than the Heartward Amulet. Heartward's about giving your team that AoE as well.
Watson not really able to build into damage at all. He only got as far as, you know, he didn't get very far at all past the Acorn and Frostbound Hammer. He had to build right into active so quick with that blink.
He had an amazing early game, though, considering the fact that he dropped a red pot at level 2. He dropped a red pot at level 2. You should not be getting to level 5 ahead of your opposition when you're down a red pot and your opponent starts boots and you die, right? Sakat should be beating you to level 5. Sakat didn't do that. Well, I mean, not Sakat. Any other jungler with a bit more clear than Sakat will beat you to level 5. But yeah, he did amazingly to catch back up in that mid game, just not able to make make much of an influence.
And that's for sure. Surcat, really the story of that game as far as I'm concerned. We're going to look at player damage here now and see how Nua, with the heavy lifting, 28,000. Surcat close in second with 24,278. KG in third with 24,128. And that just falls off from there. No one even near them in those standings. Those are the top three in that game. Just controlling the play. And, you know, that's where those guys were the people who controlled those team fights. Nua, Tyr, and Surcat.
People are just starting to question a little bit about the SWK build. Ansile gives, from memory, the highest amount of protections on any item. And especially, you know, you're able to stack it up as well. So it's the highest amount of protections you're going to get from an item. And it's split protections. It's not one protection. Look at the composition that they're running. Kronos and Nua, magical damage. Tia and Surcat, physical damage. So it gives him a really, really nice build path that itemizes in both directions. And for the physical protections, he's getting the bonus damage, obviously, onto the Runeforged Hammer as well. So it's kind of just like an item that peels into both, and he already had a nice enough health pool that he didn't need to focus on towards any more health. So it just kind of gives both. It's what he's looking at.
Yeah, and then people are going to ask that question a lot. Those items were changed, obviously, in this patch. So that's something else to take note of.
I might be thinking of Hide of the Urchin. Am I thinking Hide of the Urchin? Now I'm looking it up. You guys are making me a little bit unsure. I'll check on that one for the next game and make sure that I back my information up by double checking.
For sure, for sure. We're gonna take a quick break. I need it. I was getting a little winded down after 7 hours of casting yesterday in that, and now in this game. So I'm taking a little bit of break. I'm going to ask for the EU guys just to hold off for a few minutes, and we're just going to air some commercials if that is good with you guys. Oh, and another thing, any support you guys can give coming up in the next casting competition, I'm up for the top 12, so you think you can cast. Hoping to go to the fall split for that competition to get a chance to cast at the Smite World Championship. So if you guys stay tuned to the Smite Game channel on Wednesdays of every week, coming up until the end of September, they're gonna have 3 casters on each week, and just going to look for some community support. So any help you guys can give, I would much appreciate. And guys, give ones in chat.
How do we follow you on Twitter? That's one of the best ways to support a caster in that competition as well.
Oh, for sure. My Twitter is @Ravage90.
There you go. That's how to follow. Okay, so yeah, it's Hide of the Urchin. I did stuff up on that one. Ansile, not quite as high on the protections as a Hide of the Urchin. Yeah, but it's still quite up there. It's a funky item, but it's about itemizing for both paths and not losing the stacks because he was, not getting access to the stacks because Ansile's 200 gold cheaper. And you get both protections online from the first tier of the item as well. I mean, you get it from both, but, you know, even, and cheaper pathing. It's just cheaper pathing, but still getting both sets of protections. And stacking from minion kills, because he obviously was not getting stacking from God kills, because he was 0-3-1. He got 1 assist that entire game for Kizao. So he needed an item that stacked, gave him protections, and he was kind of left in a really, really weird spot.
It'll be interesting to see how the bans come out here. I bet we're going to see the Surcat ban or the Tyr ban come out from Mortality after this. Both teams trying to figure each other out. And we're going to take that break right now because I need it.